Well, Darren, in terms of the West Ham game, the last one in this competition, the momentum you took out of it, the overall attitude of the players, you were really pleased with. I guess I know it's very different when you're playing Portsmouth compared with West Ham's under-21s, but if you can have something similar, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think we took a lot out of that game. We were going through a bit of a difficult period in terms of results, and then really give everyone a lift, and it gave everyone a great example how we want to play. We then took that into the following game against Rochdale. So I think they've always held this tournament in high regard in terms of taking it very, very seriously. Probably ourselves and Portsmouth are the two teams in the league that, have had success and always try and win it, I think. So tomorrow night will be no different. The only difference being is we've had no game for 3.5 weeks. Saturday was our first game, so it means that I'm trying to get the rhythm of playing again. So it's probably going to be a lot stronger team than normally.
Yeah, in so far as shuffling the pack, you've got to keep that in mind that you prior to the weekend hadn't had a game for nearly a month. So whereas you'll be looking to rest players, you haven't really got that need this time around.
No, I don't. And it's the absolute opposite. I need to get them back up to speed. I thought we looked good Saturday in terms of fitness levels, especially going down to 10 men. And I think there is that added advantage and less pressure on you when you've got 5 subs. It does make a big difference to be able to replace half your starting team, which is what we did on Saturday. It does have a big bearing on the game, and I believe it could be a possibility. It could be 5 from 7 again on tomorrow. I think they're looking at changing that. So no, at the moment it's 3 from 7. So I think that's going to have a big bearing on it, definitely.
It was a good example, I suppose, of why the rule has been brought in that you were coming into the game from a bit of a standing start, to have the 5 subs there in terms of not only trying to get a result from the game, but the player safety as well worked really well.
Yeah, I think it did. I think everything worked well, and in terms of, as you said, the player's safety is paramount. But it does certainly, especially when you've had such a long break. I know I said it, but leading up to the game, I was asked a couple of times, how did I think the break would affect us? And the honest answer was, as much work you do and see them every day in training, you just don't know when you get to a game, and my answer was an honest one. I wouldn't know until the game started. I thought we looked fresh. I thought the work we'd done had definitely come at the right time, and a lot of the stuff we worked on, they did well. I've spoken about what we need to improve on after the game. So, I think fitness-wise, that game should bring us on, really.
In terms of the team selection for tomorrow, is Ronnie Edwards good to go for this one?
No, so there's a situation with Ronnie, which is a complicated one. So he went home at Christmas. A member of his family got corona. He then got it. He then had to self-isolate for 10 days. He came back to us last Thursday for his first day of training. He went back to his digs. He spent some time with his digs lady. She then tested positive. So he now needs to do another 10 days self-isolation. So Ronnie's having a bit of a bad time of it. There's nothing we can do. It's just circumstantial. It's very, very unfortunate. So now Ronnie's having another 10 days of self-isolation from last Thursday. So he's going to, by the time he comes back to us, it's nearly a month he's been inactive. So we'll have to take that into account. Really disappointing and frustrating for the boy and us, because I think everyone can see he's a real talent. That, a real possibility that he would have been involved tomorrow and Saturday, given that Tom was out for Saturday. So, but there's nothing we can do. We have to follow the rules and regulations, and so we seem to be talking about it at the moment, isn't it? So there we go. Nothing we can do about it.
Yes, the nature of the season, all of these unexpected challenges. With the protocol now for everyone else, so you do your mass round of testing. When do you know that everyone's good to go for tomorrow night? Do you know at this stage that you're COVID clear?
Yeah, the testing is a 15-minute one, Peter. So, fortunately, the whole building was negative, everyone. So it's really, really good news. And then we'll do another round of testing on Thursday. It'll be for us. So, yeah, it was very good that everyone came in. Everyone was negative, and we crack on.
And of course, you've mentioned already how you want the players, you need the players to be as careful as possible. Do you particularly say that between the Monday testing and then playing the game tomorrow, don't put yourself in any situation if you possibly can where things are likely to change?
Yeah, they have to be very, very responsible. You would have to have lived on a completely different planet if you weren't aware of what's going on with the virus. It's getting worse. It's a daily thing. The death toll's gone up. The players have to be incredibly responsible to make sure it doesn't get into our bubble. And they're reminded of that all the time. But you can't be with them 24/7. You have to trust them. So it's good that the last couple of rounds of testing we've had, and I don't mean because Ronnie went home and got it off a family, that's different. The last couple of rounds of testing have been good in terms of no one's had it and they've all been negative. And that's all we can do. It's good that we've now got the two tests in the week, and like I say, we'll test again on Thursday.
Yeah, it's a positive that all seems to be working thus far. In terms of further team news, with Joe Ward, is he ready to start if you want him to tomorrow?
Yes, yep, most definitely. He will play 45, no longer, and we hope he gets through that. I have to say, the boys look terrific. He looks really fit, sharp. So he'll play 45, whether it's at the start or obviously we bring him on. We'll wait and see.
With Ricky Jade, is he in a position where he could start as well? Is that an option for you?
Yeah, the only one we couldn't start was Joe from Saturday. I mean, but now Joe's had that little bit more time on the training ground and had a couple of football sessions. Then every member of the squad's available to start, and Ricky's obviously one of those. I thought he came on and had a real impact in the game, even though we'd gone down to 10 men. You could see what he's all about. He's a terrific asset to come off the bench, but he's ready to start. He looks good, the boy, I have to say.
And just worth mentioning as well, Ben Menster, who signed his pro terms over Christmas, he's seen a little bit of action in this competition, which really is what it's all about. And from your point of view, if you can get the youngsters in and get them some game time, even if it is just experiencing the match day and the preparation and being part of all of that, is presumably a big bonus.
Yeah, it is. You're absolutely right. It's not just about getting time on the grass. It's about the whole, if they travel away with us, it's the whole experience of that and what it's about. And I've always treated this tournament the same, and obviously want to win every game. And I've also put in quite a few young lads, this season, last season. The only thing with this game is, excuse me, we've got the Youth Cup game the next day. So I've got to be mindful that the young lads that maybe would have been involved with us won't be because of that. They've got the Youth Cup game against Doncaster the next day.
Yeah, and as you say, you're keen to get minutes into more of the senior players anyway, so it works out quite nicely in that respect. You've touched upon Portsmouth, like yourselves, tend to take this competition pretty seriously. For tomorrow night, I suppose you're expecting lots of changes, if only because, of course, they had their game on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one because their game obviously get put back to the Sunday, the cup match. And they were well within their rights to ask for our game to be put back to Wednesday, but they haven't done that. So I think my thinking off the top of my head is he probably wants his whole squad to get a game over the week. And, a lot, obviously, they picked his team yesterday. I would imagine the other ones that didn't play will play against us. They've then got to go to Fleetwood away on the Saturday. So I think that's the reason they've been off. I think we were off since the 15th. I think they've been off since the 18th. So they've had a long break up until yesterday, obviously. So I can only think that the reason they've done it is they thought we'll use the whole squad over the 2 games in the 2 days.
And of course, when you're Portsmouth, you've got quality right the way through anyway, so it'll be a good side.
Yeah, I looked at their team yesterday, a bit of the game. You look at the bench, and it was 9 players on the bench for the cup. It's an excellent squad they've got, very strong, very much of a muchness in it in terms of it's not going to make much difference in that squad what 11 start really. So it's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a big team out. We have to be mindful of that. One of the big ones are going to be out. So it puts you in a good position. It means another one that is going to challenge you for the trophies is going to be out. So tomorrow night's a big game for us. We want to try and get as far. We want to win this cup if we can. And and we're fortunate that the draw we're at home, which is always an advantage because our home form's very good.